a couple minutes, just a little bit early. Just watch what you say.
For sure. You should.
Live on what?
Zoom. Okay, we'll wait another minute and we'll start at 3:10.
Just worry about making shots.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
All goes together.
Once we make shots, I'll shave on Sunday.
Max doesn't need to worry about it.
Yeah, really doesn't grow. He had a mustache.
It's so funny that your brother has a full beard.
What?
Okay, we're ready to start with the student athletes from University of Texas. If you have a question, let us, please raise your hand. Let's get the handheld mic to you. Let us know who you are and who you're with. Who has the first question? And if you could address the question to a specific athlete, it'd be great.
Craig Way, Longhorn Radio Network. Brock, has it sunk in about being the winningest player in Texas basketball history, and what does that mean?
Not quite. You know, we're so focused on the next game at hand and trying to get better even through this 48-hour stretch before we play Tennessee tomorrow. So it'll be a couple days, maybe a couple weeks before that really sets in.
John Sartori, WVLT. Dylan, what do you remember from the last matchup with Tennessee last season, and what do you, I guess, take away from that you hope to carry into tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of experience playing Tennessee. I used to go to Vanderbilt. They're a super physical team. We compared them, the physicality-wise, probably to Houston from the Big 12. So we know that we're just going to have to come out, match that physicality, and play hard on defense to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Ryan Shumpert, Rocky Top Insider. Max, just what stands out about Zakai Ziegler's game?
I mean, just the way he controls the game, the way he plays with pace, you know, kind of looking to get downhill and create for his teammates. So, you know, it'll be a collective job on the defensive end for us.
To our left.
Wes Rucker, 24/7 Sports. Brock, I guess starting next season, Tennessee and Texas would be a conference game, but it almost maybe feels like it already is. I guess this is the third year in a row. Is it weird to play a non-conference team that you know this much about a little bit?
It is a unique circumstance, you know, with the history of Rick Barnes being at Texas and Coach Terry working under Rick Barnes and myself, you know, watching the Texas program when Rick Barnes is there. We're very familiar with Tennessee, and it's going to be another fun game to carry the last 3 years into tonight and then moving into the SEC next year.
Other questions? Also, we have some people on Zoom who have a question. Please use the raise hand function. We'll get a question to you. Anyone else in the room?
Wes Rucker, 24/7 Sports for Dylan and for Max, if you don't mind. Obviously, y'all won the game yesterday. That's what you came here to do. But I'm sure you wanted to play a little better offensively. Do you feel like that was something Colorado State was doing, or were y'all just missing shots or out of rhythm? What caused some of that?
I feel like, I guess me and him specifically got some really good looks that we missed, that we've made, you know, throughout the season. I mean, so it's just, I mean, we kept shooting the next shot with confidence. I mean, we put in a lot of work. But I mean, you know, when shots aren't falling, the emphasis is on the defensive end even more to get stops down there and, you know, not let the other team score.
Dylan?
Yeah, I think Max hit it on the head there. Shots that, you know, usually fall or weren't falling yesterday, we got good looks. Shoot the next one with confidence. But in March, you have to be able to win in multiple ways. You can't always rely on your offense. Your defense has to travel night in and night out. We feel like it did last night, and that's why we had a chance to win the game.
No.
Josh Newman, LoneStarLive.com. For any of you guys, when you see Dalton connect on film, what makes him so difficult to stop? And I guess for Brock and Dylan, you've seen him once before live. How much has he grown as a player from year to year?
He's made a huge step as a player, moving over to Tennessee, becoming the SEC Player of the Year, and he's an extremely potent player. He can shoot the ball far away from the basket. He's extremely athletic, a well-rounded player. He's just dynamic, and we're going to have to put a lot of focus on working to stop him.
Dylan?
Yeah, I think Brock hit on the head there with that answer.
Other questions?
Max, when it comes to a game where if shots aren't falling early, does it bring up an issue to make sure to block it out of mind and go, or is it just, like they say, the old relief pitcher gives up a home run, you just keep firing away? Is that something you process through, or just put it out of your mind and keep going and come back ready to shoot the next one?
Yeah, I think I definitely come back ready to shoot the next one. I put in a lot of time in the gym, so really just trusting my work. Never losing confidence in myself. I've had plenty of games where I've missed a lot of shots, but I'm always keep shooting the next one with the exact same confidence I shot the first one with.
Any other questions from the room here? Okay, thank you, guys. A lot of pressure when the first guy answers the question, right? You could just say, ditto. See y'all. Good job. Okay, that was a little quick, so 3:30, about 15 minutes, 3:30 with Coach Terry.
I was like, oh my God, running around.
What? Okay, we're about to start with Coach Terry.
Well, I hope a demon does not.
Oh, no. It's supposed to be 3:30. I don't know if people are waiting. I think we ought to wait a little bit. We're going to wait a little bit and Coach Terry start at 3:30.
I'll make a statement.
Okay, thanks for your patience. We are going to start with Coach Terry now. A little bit early. Okay, questions. Let us get the handheld mic to you, and let us know who you are, who you're with, and who has the first question.
Wes Rucker with 24/7 Sports. Rodney, I think Rick said last night he wasn't trying to speak for you, but he thinks that if either one of y'all were asked, do you want to play the other one in this tournament, the answer would be no. Do you agree with that?
No, Wes, I would completely agree with that. Coach is family to me. You know, he is one of my biggest mentors. He's been incredible throughout my career. We love each other. You know, but we also, at the end of the day, he's super competitive. I'm super competitive. When the game starts, you know, it'll be about our players and the guys on the floor. You know, and you know that's kind of the relationship we have. We talk often and congratulate him. The last time I had interaction with him was congratulate him on winning the regular season, you know, conference. It's always really hard to do, and he has a great ball club this year.
To our right, Coach.
Josh Newman, LoneStarLive.com. Rodney, again, when Rick was in here last night, your name came up, of course. He said that that coaching Texas was your dream job. Is that accurate? As a young assistant, was that your dream job to coach Texas?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'd worked at UNC Wilmington for a great coach and a mentor of mine as well, Jerry Wainwright. And when the opportunity presented itself at Texas, it was a no-brainer, and I pretty much sprinted there. I mean, I was offered a job by Kelvin Sampson at Oklahoma, and I ended up turning that job down prior to taking the Texas job. But, yeah, it was a lifelong dream and an incredible opportunity to work with Coach Barnes over the years that we were together. We had incredible success, and we did everything except win a national championship.
To our right.
Yeah, Rodney, you touched on it a little bit last night with what Dylan has meant to your team this year. What has he just meant to the program in general, and what has he done this year to kind of grow his game and put up the numbers he's been putting up?
You know, Dessou's latter part of last season really came on for us in a big way from a scoring standpoint. You know, he had been a star in his role prior to that in terms of being a guy that's a cerebral player, cerebral defender, rim protector, but really stepped it up from a scoring standpoint the last part of that season. And going into this spring and summer, you know, we challenged him to be a guy that also continued to take it to another level. Instead of making 1 3 a game, we made 1 3 or 4 threes a game, you know, and gave us great inside presence last year as well. But I think he was injured the first part of this season, coming back from surgery and things of that nature there. But he was really engaged with our team from the very beginning of the year. I mean, he was basically an assistant coach. And when it was time for him to play, I thought that was a real smooth transition because he had been so vocal and so involved with the team that he just stepped right in, and it was a really good transition for us, you know, coming off an injury and not playing the first part of the season. And he just took off. I mean, he really worked hard on his shooting, and, you know, as a result of that, you know, I thought he had a great year shooting the basketball for us this year.
Back right.
Ryan Shumpert, RTI. Just from watching it on tape, what makes Jemai Mashak such a good defender?
I think with the energy and activity that he plays with, he's athletic. He's a guy that can guard basically anybody on the floor. He can guard a big, switch off guard, a point guard, plays with a great motor. He's a tough matchup. You know, offensively, he crashes the glass really hard, so you have to match his energy when he comes in the game.
Rodney, what makes Dalton Connect so tough to deal with?
Well, he has NBA size, and he's an NBA player, for one. We've seen him grow. I mean, we played him when he was at Northern Colorado as a youngster, and, you know, he's really, you know, bulked up his body right now a little bit in terms of that. He plays a lot stronger and more aggressive. He could always score the basketball. He's a 3-level scorer. He can score in transition. He can score getting downhill. He's a terrific player with size, and I think that's the one thing. He could raise up and shoot over smaller guards, and he's a tough guard. You know, you gotta do a great job of really trying to really just contain him. You're not going to stop a great player like him from scoring. He's going to score, but it has to be on our terms, and hopefully not let him have one of those crazy nights where he goes off for 30 points.
Wes Rucker, 24/7 Sports. Rodney, I know obviously next season this would be a conference game, and y'all have played the past 2 seasons. How rare is it to play a non-conference opponent where there's this much familiarity, where it almost already feels like a conference game?
I mean, it's basically our 3rd year we're playing right now. So, we had the 2. You alluded to the fact that we were in the SEC Challenge with the Big 12 Challenge, and we played back-to-back years, home and away. Again, I think, we're very familiar with, how Tennessee plays in terms of, they're going to be very physical. It's a very physical team. They're a team that's going to, rely on a lot of paint touches. I mean, they shoot a lot of threes and make threes, but they're heavy in the paint, playing inside out. Really good defense. They're going to sit down. They're going to guard you really hard. They're going to play heavy gap, and going to try to limit you to one shot and out. Again, I think it helps. I think it helps with them likewise in terms of, we're very familiar with knowing what each other wants to do and the strengths and the weaknesses of both.
Ben McKee, 24/7. Rodney, I'm just curious, with Jonas Adu, how have you seen him improve, and what kind of stands out about the jump that he's made from sophomore to junior year?
He's made a huge jump. I mean, the thing that jumps out about him is his size. I mean, he's a big kid who runs the floor, carves out space offensively with his hard duck ends. He's really tough on the glass. His shot blocking ability changes games as well. I thought last year it was hard for him to get on the floor. They had some other guys that were pretty physical players that took up the majority of the time. But going against those guys every day, you can see how he's improved. Olivier played really well against us last year, and Adu didn't get a chance to get on the floor a whole lot. But watching him from where he was last year to where he's at right now, he's really grown from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint. He makes an impact on the game on both ends of the floor.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.